Heard some bootblack disappeared in the mountains. Rumor has it he ventured too far into some hidden Nordic ruin.
Can I help you?
Feeling clumsy today?
Seen any goblins around? Primitive little things, but damn if they won't swarm you.
There's a skeeving thug inside my house! When are you going to do something? There's a trap door inside your house. You know that. I don't want to march in there in case they're planning an ambush.
There's a trap door inside my house? I didn't realize that until now.
Let's just wait a few minutes and see if the thief decides to try his luck leaving the building before we do anything rash.
Damn it all! Skeeving thieves can just wander inside while I'm sleeping and steal what little coin I have left to my name. Kinnereth, give me strength.
Heard bandits have set up
you're
and
back.
plundered mine.
Come, we need to talk.
Damned brigands.
As you can see, there's another
We
problem
clear
to
them
deal
out,
with.
they always come back.
So now old Bartram's got a thug inside his house, apparently. Just wonderful. To be honest, I'd rather be dealing with this than going on Count Carvain's wild guar chase. I should ask before I march in there and deal with the thief. Did your investigation turn up any leads about the Count's precious artifacts? You found a lead. That's no small relief. I guess that means you go find him in the caverns while I go deal with the thief in Bartram's house. That changes things. Well, at least now we can kill two birds with one stone. If it's true, that is. Under most circumstances, I'd insist on going in first. I'm captain of the guard. It's my duty to shoulder the risk. But, well, this reeks of an ambush. It makes more sense to go in prepared. Let's go.
The captain of the guard. Just what I needed. Go ahead, rub salt right into the wound.
What is the meaning of this? Why are you in Bartram's house, and why in Oblivion do you look like you're on death's doorstep?
It all went wrong. The bandits tricked me, typical. I wanted them to put in a good word for me with the cutters. But no, they lied. I gave their guy the artifacts, then they started swinging. I narrowly escaped by climbing back through the trap door.
I see. Well, I'm placing you under arrest for stealing Count Carvain's akavirois artifact collection. At least you won't bleed out in here. I'm gonna have to deal with this guy, slap him in irons and take him before the Count. Finally get Carvain off my back. I suppose that means it's down to you to deal with the bandits and retrieve the artifacts. I know the caverns are a favorite haunt of bandits and criminal types. Lots of them down there. No need to clear them out. Not that I'd complain if you did. Just grab the artifacts. Best of luck.
He hears voices in his head. Don't worry, they're good people. What could they be? Please, excuse me.
Respect the law. Respect yourself.
So this is the thief, Captain? You mean to say that my artifacts have been found?
Yes, Count Carvain. He stole your artifacts and attempted to deliver them to the bandits operating in the Bruma caverns.
I see. Well, of course, I expect he should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, my artifacts?
Actually, this new friend of Bruma has them.
And who's this?
A friend, responsible for tracking down the artifacts and finding the thief. In fact, I'd say they deserve most of the credit, Count Carvain.
Friend of Bruma. Such tales are always gratifying to hear of. In fact, Captain, would you mind giving us a moment to speak?
Of course. I'll just be waiting over there. I'd like to say a few words to this new friend of Bruma before they take their leave.
Of course, Captain. Friend de Bruma, may I have a moment?
What is it?
If you would just hand over the artifacts, gently if you please. Thank you very much. So, you tracked down the thief and found my artifacts. I am extremely grateful. Please, accept this small recompense from the treasury. Thank you for your service. Something makes me think you're not going to merely disappear, though. You're the kind to get tangled in all sorts of affairs, I'm sure. Farewell, friend de Bruma. Good luck. I do hope you remain loyal to the Bruma throne.
It's rare to see someone so willing to help another these days. You went to great lengths to find those damned artifacts. And for that, you have my thanks. I don't know what Count Carvain said to you, and I don't really mind. The Count and I don't always see eye to eye, but I have a duty. Anyway, something makes me think we may see each other again. People like you tend to make waves, don't they? Take this. A personal thank you gift from me. Safe travels, my friend. And thanks. Want my advice? Always carry a good stock of potions and restoratives around with you. Never know when you'll be lying on the ground, bleeding out.
Name's Ionala. Ionala Dark. Best archer in Bruma, and perhaps all of Cyrodiil.
Well, this is a bit of a surprise. What brings you to my stall?
Bannis's birthday is coming up soon. My wife says he likes your little trinkets, so I was thinking of buying
Hello.
them for him.
Hello. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Hall of the Champion, the only museum of the Champion of Cyrodiil in the Imperial Province. While some call it a place of learning, I imagine it as an altar to the Champion's greatness. I offer exclusive tours of the museum with thrilling explanations of the significance of each artifact. Only 20 septims for a fantastical retelling of the Champion's exploits. Thank you for your contribution. Now please, follow me. Oh goody, you're in for a treat. Our tour begins with the prison. The Champion of Cyrodiil was discovered by His Imperial Majesty Uriel Septim VII in the Imperial Dungeon. These are the manacles which the Champion wore. A priceless artifact, I assure you, which I acquired at a princely sum. The Champion was with the Emperor when he was slain by the cowardly assassins of the Mythic Dawn. Such a shame. But without this grave incident, the Champion would never have risen to prominence. This is a cuirass of Kvatch. It's not the actual cuirass the Champion was rewarded for services to the city. But it was touched by the Champion when they brushed by a guardsman on the way in. Kvatch was the first city saved by the Champion during the Oblivion Crisis. It bravely entered the land of Daedra and broke the siege of the city. An ordinary piece of fabric. How could this be interesting? Must be a placeholder. Except it's not! The Champion used this handkerchief to blow their nose while ascending to Cloud Ruler Temple. It was reclaimed by an old merchant during a trip to the ruins north of the city. Can you believe it? The essence of the Champion, preserved for us to see and touch! Touching the handkerchief is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the handkerchief? Because it's an artifact of the Champion of Cyrodiil. Why else? There you go. Just touch it. Feel your hands caress it. So, what do you think? Yes, from the records I've studied on the subject, the Champion of Cyrodiil had a terrible case of rock joint at the time. Caused them to blow their nose constantly. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Ah, now this is a treat. The Sword of Bird, my family's progenitor. Bird was captain of the Bruma Guard and fought alongside the Champion during the Battle of Bruma. Ever since, my family has taken the name Birdson to remember the great warrior from whom we stem. Touching the sword is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the sword? That's right. Feel your hand stroke the metal. Now, what did you think of that? Well, to each their own. Not how I'd have described it, though. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Finally, here we have my most prized possession, the Finger of the Champion. Many say the Champion disappeared after the crisis, but I know better. My theory is that the Champion died following a great battle with a were-minotaur, a vampire, and a unicorn. Before the Champion's body could be lost to the earth, it was carried away by woodland creatures at the behest of Kinnereth. Unfortunately, a band of Khajiit stole the body when it was being carried by a troop of squirrels. Before the body could be lost, an Argonian mercenary... Well, I won't bother you with the whole story. Just a theory of mine. However, if my theory is correct, then I have recovered one of the last parts of the body, the finger bone, and can present it to you today. The other display cases enclose other items that were owned by the champion. Swords, shields, brooches, silverware, all very exciting. I also sell Champion's Vigor, a potion distilled from the herbs the champion was said to consume each morning. And you can have a portrait painted of you with the champion's finger, but you need to give a week's notice. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back if you have any questions about the champion. What is it?
Are you questioning the honor of a bird son? How dare you!
Well, the Champion of Cyrodiil saved the entire world. Why not revere him? If I don't have it, you don't need it. Be gone, now. Good afternoon. Welcome to the... While some call... I offer it only 20 septims for... Thank you for your contribution. Now please, follow me. Oh goody, you're in for a treat. Our tour begins with the prison. The Champion of Cyrodiil was discovered by His Imperial Majesty Uriel Septim VII in the Imperial Dungeon. These are the manacles which the champion wore, a priceless artifact, I assure you, which I acquired at a princely sum. The champion was with the Emperor when he was slain by the cowardly assassins of the Mythic Dawn. Such a shame. But without this grave incident, the champion would never have risen to prominence. This is a cuirass of Kvatch. It's not the actual cuirass the champion was rewarded for services to the city. But it was touched by the champion when they brushed by a guardsman on the way in. Kvatch was the first city saved by the champion during the Oblivion Crisis. They bravely entered the land of Daedra and broke the siege of the city. An ordinary piece of fabric. How could this be interesting? Must be a placeholder. Except it's not! The champion used this handkerchief to blow their nose while ascending to Cloud Ruler Temple. It was reclaimed by an old merchant during a trip to the ruins north of the city. Can you believe it? The essence of the champion, preserved for us to see and touch! Touching the handkerchief is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the handkerchief? Because it's an artifact of the There you go. Just touch. Yes. Cause them to blow their nose constantly. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Ah, now this is a treat. The Sword of Bird, my family's progenitor. Bird was captain of the Bruma Guard and fought alongside the champion during the Battle of Bruma. Ever since, my family has taken named Birdson to remember the great warrior from whom we stem. Touching the sword is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the sword? Because it belonged to my great-great... That's right. Feel your hand, stroke the metal. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Finally, here we have my most prized possession, the finger of the champion. Many say the champion disappeared after the crisis, but I know better. My theory is that the champion died following a great battle with a were-minotaur, a vampire, and a unicorn. Before the champion's body could be lost to the earth, it was carried away by woodland creatures at the behest of Kinnereth. Unfortunately, a band of Khajiit stole the body when it was being carried by a troop of squirrels. Before the body could be lost, an Argonian mercenary... Well, I won't bother you with the whole story. Just a theory of mine. However, if my theory is correct, then I have recovered one of the last parts of the body, the finger bone, and can present it to you today. The other display cases enclose other items that were owned by the champion. Swords, shields, brooches, silverware, all very exciting. I also sell Champion's Vigor, a potion distilled from the herbs the champion was said to consume each morning. And you can have a portrait painted of you with the champion's finger, but you need to give a week's notice. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back if you have any questions about the champion. Hello? Take a look. Sure. Good afternoon. Well, yes. I mean, no. It's a mix. The bird stuff's real. Well, not the sword, but the rest. And I think the finger's real. The handkerchief isn't. Been blowing my nose on it whenever I come down with the collywobbles, honestly. And you touched it, didn't you? Yeah, sorry about that. Some of the champion's miscellanea has to be real. There's just so much. How could it not be? I'll give you a refund. But I mean well, honest. It's just that, well, my obsession with the champion made me want a museum. And I wanted filled displays. You don't tend to get many visitors if you have empty display cases lying around, you know? I don't mean to deceive. Most of this stuff's real, I promise you that.
Nordic culture, Nordic metalwork.
My mortar and pestle can make near any potion or poultice.
I'm Bonus. My dad is Albekius. What's your name?
Oh.
Hello. I'm Albekius, of the Ducani family.
Damnable tavern! Damnable owner! How dare he allow that lizard to engage in such a salacious display? Scandalous!
À la prochaine fois.
Good morning. Farewell.
What does this one need? Ah, a fair question. For my trade is perhaps not so obvious on first glance. This one calls himself a hunter and fur trader. He stalks the wilds of the Geralds and brings down the beasts and the deer. He skins them and sells the furs here in Bruma. The Nords love bear pelts, this one has found. Well, this one does also sometimes explore the caves and tombs of the wilds in search of treasure, and sometimes he finds. This one prefers cat burglar. You mean for cat burglary, honored friend? And the answer is no. Most of the time, anyway. This one does have occasional run-ins with the law, he admits. There is actually a particularly unfortunate situation currently occurring. This one has been falsely accused of stealing from Icewind Traders, the general store. They tell him he has stolen their hides, and that he is selling them at his stall. This is false. This one has done nothing of the sort. In fact, perhaps you could help. Aedius Villius is the captain of the guard here in Bruma. If you speak to him, perhaps he will change his mind. This one fears he considers him a dirty thief and will not hear his pleas. Thank you. May you eternally walk on the warmest, glistening sands. These pleasantries please you, yes? Then Khajiit will continue.
You're the one who helped return the Count's artifacts, aren't you? Captain Aedius was looking for you. Might want to go see what he wants.
Name's Cedus Perusius, owner and proprietor of Icewind Traders here in Bruma.
Marcius Carve, Viscount Bruma. The title garners a lot of respect and a fair few privileges. Anyway, how can I help you?
Hello, I am Afana Adichie, part of the Bruma court. Rather high-ranking.
Hey, nice to see you around. Listen, there's a situation. So maybe you'll help me with this? That's great news. As I said, there's a situation. Don't go around publicizing this, but a new threat's cropped up, far to the east of Bruma. Not bandits, not hedge wizards. Talos worshippers. Believe me, I don't have any bones to pick with Talos worshippers. People can worship whoever they want to worship, as far as I'm concerned. But this has me spooked. I don't want Armion and his damned justiciars to arrest them and send them off to Blue River Prison. Or worse. And I'm tied up in Bruma dealing with other matters. I hate to ask, but would you help me with this? I'm not asking you to kill them, or arrest them, or hand them over to the Thalmor. I don't have anything against Talos worship. I'm asking you to convince them to lie low. That's all. I want to spare them the wrath of the Thalmor, and spare Bruma's people the consequences. Well, it's only spoken of in rumors and whispers, but to go by the rumors, it's the Thalmor prison camp here in Cyrodiil. It's where they send those they find problematic. Talos worshippers, dissidents, that sort of thing. First, let me be clear. I'm not asking you to kill them, and I'm not asking you to hand them over to the Thalmor. I hate them as much as any Imperial. No, I'm asking you to convince them to lie low. I don't care if they keep worshipping Talos, they just need to do it privately. I don't want the Thalmor making an example out of them, but I don't want them to use this as an excuse to step up their presence in Bruma. And that's likely. Given their location near a county board of the Shadenhall nobility might get involved. Political disaster waiting to happen. So just go and speak with them, like I said. They're far to the east of Bruma, near County Shadenhall. Here, I'll mark it on your map, just in case. He's accused of stealing from Icewind traders. What of it? Ah, wait. Don't tell me he roped you into having the charges dropped. He's been trying that tactic a lot recently. I have sympathy for the cat, being accused like this while the bigger fish swim free. What can I do? I have to enforce the law. No, but Cetus made the accusation. I don't know what you expect me to do, but I can't just drop charges on a whim like this. You have a point. Your word, along with Dartokto's, is one more voice than Cetus has on his side. Very well. Consider the charges dropped. However, I'm afraid it does come with some strings attached. I can't drop charges like this and return things back to the way they were. Consider the charges dropped, but Dartokto will be evicted of residency in Bruma. No way I can get away with dropping these charges without people starting to ask questions about how fit I am to be guard captain. It's no secret he's a thief, but he's about as close to a good thief as you can get without reading a children's bedtime story. Tell him I'm sorry. I was sort of fond of that cat. Oh, felt strange to say that. Anyway, you should probably go tell Dartokto the bittersweet news.
Damnable tavern! Damnable owner! How dare he allow that lizard to engage in such a salacious display? Scandalous!
Yes, this is wonderful news! Thank you for all the help. Wait, what? This one understands. He thinks Bruma citizens will have to do without their friendly neighborhood cat burglar. For now. But where will this one go now? His home has been taken from him, and the Geralds are not so hospitable for sleeping rough. An interesting proposition, honored friend. Allow this one a few moments to consider it. Oh, who is Dartokto kidding? Of course! It would be an honor to travel with you. Of course, thrice-honored friend. Do not leave this one alone too long, though. The conversation is surprisingly enjoyable. Ugh. Ah, good to see you. See you. Huh? your coin. Or else. Oh, really now? Are you quite sure about that? Ah, another one.
Oh, there, traveler. Who are you? Are you with a Thalmor? Tell me. Now! Then I suppose I can afford to stow my weapon. I hope for your sake you're not lying. Besides, we've nothing to be ashamed of. Go on then. Ask whatever you like. Come and go as you please. But we'll be watching you. I'm Era. I lead the congregation here. We worship Talos, and by the divines, we make no bones about it. Sending someone to stop us worshipping Talos? Has the captain gone mad? I always considered the captain a man of honor, a man of tolerance, someone who refused to be a puppet to the Thalmor and the shameful demands. Why such a sharp change in the captain's outlook? What could he, or you, possibly say that would lead us to renounce the god hero of mankind? I see. That's... well, it's more likely to happen than asking us to renounce a divine. But why should we live in shame of our faith? I see. That makes a lot of sense. Very well then. We will lay low for the time being. Let Adius know we're sorry for any problems that has caused for him, or may cause him. He's a good man, clearly. Any other guard captain would have handed us over to the Thalmor, no questions asked. Here he is now. Never was light on his feet.
Oh, you're still here. Good. Finally got done with all that paperwork and procedure for that damn thief Galette. So, I assume you've reached a mutual understanding? Or are you still in negotiations?
Yes, Captain Adius. We're going to worship more subtly, as your messenger asked.
He's more than a messenger. He's a friend. But thank you for coming around. I realize it must have been tough for you to see the justification.
I am pretty handy with a blade. Don't get
I'm grateful, friend, that you did what I asked. But I wonder now if it was the right call. I appreciate your loyalty, but this could turn out badly. If the Thalmor have so much as an inkling that I'm shielding Talos worshippers, heads will roll. Most likely mine. And that's if they're feeling merciful. But what's done is done. There's no time for second guessing. Here's hoping we made the right call. Here's your reward. You've earned it, friend. I guess for the time being we go our separate ways once more. But something makes me think our paths will cross again.
If it turns out you're with the Thalmor, I'll run you through myself.
The guard Captain Adius was looking for you. Seemed like he had a lot on his mind.
Heard they were beastie.
Hello. You know what's even more satisfying than arresting a criminal?
I just wanted to talk. You say you're a stranger who just wandered into my path as I was looking for stolen artifacts. You've accomplished a lot together. You're a rare sort. You're the kind of person who stands by people and does good by a fair city. I can respect that more than I can respect most. If you're up for it, I was wondering if you'd let me buy you a drink at the Gerald View. We can talk as friends, as it were. Great. I'm looking forward to catching up.
Protect and serve. It's what we do.
Damn it, if only that infernal bard would shut his mouth! It's good to see a familiar face around here, friend. What can I do for you? His name is Reynard, even-toned. Damned fool apparently thinks he's the divine's gift to singing. He's terrible, and he's loud. You can hear his terrible performances from the streets. It's getting very irritating. The beggar, Relante, has shown a particular interest in getting Reynard to shut up for some reason. You could go speak with him. Perhaps he'd even pay you. Walk on warm sands, friend.
We've been having problems with smugglers lately. You hear anything about it, you go straight to the guard captain.